My problem is for 4 years we were lied to about who's actually running the country. This is a problem.
All right, buckle up for this one because CNN is totally melting down right now over Donald Trump, who's not even in office, and Elon Musk, an unelected official, saying they have too much power and the government is shutting down and the government has issues because of them, even though Joe Biden, Kamala Harris are currently in power and you are not hearing anything from them. Anyway, I'm going to let these clips speak for themselves because I think a lot of us can relate to them, so enjoy these meltdowns.
But no one is saying they have to shut down the White House because he's not with it today. This man is awake 23 hours a day. He's clearly engaged. And the American people just elected him over somebody who was much younger. I will point out to you. My question is this. That we elect people for a reason. The elected leadership of the government is supposed to be making decisions. For 4 years, the unelected have been in charge of our country during critical moments. We don't live in a country where the unelected are supposed to rule us. We live where the elected are supposed to rule. My problem is for 4 years we were lied to about who's actually running the country. This is a problem.
Now, this next clip, again, I think many people can agree, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, what has been going on with Joe Biden? Have we actually been lied to? And is this one of the biggest scandals we've ever seen in our lifetime? Leave your comments down below if you agree with Scott Jennings. I'm going to let this clip speak for itself, and then we will comment on it.
Piece does show Biden having all of these sort of walls up.
Yeah.
And the walls kept getting higher and higher as the years went on.
It is the biggest scandal in America. And the level and volume of people who dedicated themselves to lying to everyone at home about this man's condition for 4 straight years up through this summer is breathtaking. It's a scandal of epic proportions. And it's a fair question to ask. Who is running the country? Who has been running the country? And as I said earlier, if you're worried about Donald Trump's advisors having influence, for the last 4 years, apparently this president, duly elected, but this president was not capable of fulfilling the duties of the office. And his staff and the White House lied about it and kept it from the American people. It's an absolute scandal.
Don't worry, these meltdowns are going to continue because Scott Jennings just had enough of this ridiculous narrative that Donald Trump is a puppet. Donald Trump is a dictator. What is he, a puppet or a dictator? Again, I'm going to let this next clip speak for itself because it's rather hilarious. CNN, again, for some reason, they have this like narrative that they're trying to push that Donald Trump is the worst person ever, when as you can see, Donald Trump is trying to help out economically so Americans can have more transparency on what exactly is going on within the U.S. government, to include Elon Musk. So anyway, enjoy this clip because it's rather hilarious as well.
If he gives information to people that they didn't previously have or some transparency into our government and they act on it, is that necessarily a bad thing? I might offer that.
I think that's a great idea. You think Elon Musk is actually telling people things that they couldn't find out except for Elon Musk?
Elon Musk is...
Okay, I have to stop right here because this is where CNN and MSNBC, they lose their viewership. What that news anchor is implying or saying, what, you think that it takes Elon Musk to actually tell an American what the government is doing? Anyone can look this up. Yes, anyone can look it up. However, most of us have extremely difficult normal lives. We have to feed our children, we have to go to work, we have to pay our bills. We don't get paid to write 1,500-page documents, which is how long the spending bill was. We can't look that all up. We are relying on our politicians to make the right decision. That is why we elect our politicians to have trust that they will do their job and we will do our job to fund the government. Again, this is why I can't stand CNN. That is what Elon is trying to prove. This is what the Department of Government Efficiency is. It is trying to expose what the government is doing in a non-efficient way.
Doing this to gin up people, to call their congressman or congresswoman and tell them to vote against something Elon Musk doesn't want them to vote for because it doesn't directly benefit Elon Musk. Let's be very clear. He's not here.
How do you know that?
He's not. How do I know that? Because look at this bill.
You're making an allegation. It's a serious allegation. I mean, you're essentially alleging corruption.
I'm not. No, first of all, I'm not alleging corruption. I'm alleging that Elon Musk
Okay, I have to stop right here because Scott Jennings is hilarious, and I know what he's doing. He's kind of trolling, but I actually think he's trying to watch his news anchors back. Again, ever since Donald Trump has won his court case against ABC for the lies they've been saying against him, I think a lot of news anchors are a little on edge to not put lies out, not only against Donald Trump, but someone like Elon Musk, who's within that circle, or somebody who has a lot of money who can carry out these court cases.
Has a particular interest in seeing certain things happen that benefit Elon Musk's business. And that's a fact. He's a businessman. He's not here as a staffer. If you were a staffer, if you were working on the Hill, then he should go work on the Hill. Doge is not, he's purposely not going into the government because then he'd have to show a lot more information about himself than he and Vivek Ramaswamy want to. So now they're just advisors. They're unpaid advisors. And for that reason, Elon Musk is puppeteering Donald Trump and every other member of Congress that he wants to, and every other member of Congress that he wants to benefit Elon Musk.
I'm not sure Trump is doing anything to dissuade people
in October. In October, the principal Democratic argument was Donald Trump is going to be a dictator, and today it's Donald Trump is just being puppeteered by other people.
Well, you could be
Which
both.
is
You
it?
could be both.
Scott Jennings is so right about this. There's been quite the evolution of Donald Trump being the most evil man in the world all the way back from World War II, comparing him to an evil dictator. Now all of a sudden he's a puppet. But I want to play this next clip because it's just the icing on the cake. Scott Jennings is saying, hey, instead of getting mad at Donald Trump, who's not even in office right now, why don't we get mad at the person who's at the tip of the spear, Joe Biden?
She let the mask slip right at the end. She said, who's the president right now? I mean, who's the president-elect? But she asked the right question first. Who is the president right now? Joe Biden, who we rarely hear from, and the Wall Street Journal reported today, has been diminished for the last 4 years, and we've had unelected people running around running the federal government, apparently. So if that is what they're worried about, if they're worried about people who aren't Donald Trump, running the government or having influence, I wonder where they've been the last 4 years. Now, this doesn't excuse anybody's behavior on Capitol Hill tonight, but I think it's pretty rich for Democrats to be worried about people who aren't Donald Trump having influence when the current president, a Democrat, is AWOL and apparently not able to execute the duties of the office.
Okay, so Scott Jennings mentioned how people are acting on Capitol Hill. If you are unaware, the amount of meltdowns that occurred on Capitol Hill, blaming Elon Musk and Donald Trump and not blaming themselves was absolutely insane. I will play you some clips from that right now.
We reached an agreement. We came to modest achievements. And a tweet changed all of it? Can you imagine what the next 2 years are going to be like if every time the Congress works its will and then there's a tweet, or from an individual who has no official portfolio, who threatens members on the Republican side with a primary, and they succumb? This institution has a separate responsibility based upon the separation of powers.
Agreed on a bill.
They signed it.
And you know what? They got scared because President Musk told them, President Musk said, don't do it. Don't do it. Shut the government down. Imagine. What does he know about what people go through is when the government shuts down? Are his employees furloughed? Hell no. Is he furloughed? No. And when you shut the government down, people don't get paid. And maybe if none of us got paid if the government shut down, some people on the other side of the aisle would feel differently.
And what we're doing right now is to continue to double down on the things that are destroying the republic. We are going to increase the debt ceiling, not just $4 trillion, that's false. We have spent $4.7 trillion in additional debt in the last 19 months. We're going to increase the debt by $5 trillion. That's what's going to happen right here by Republicans, increasing the debt $5 trillion. And what are you doing in the same bill? $110 billion unpaid for, because you never have any ounce of self-respect to go out and campaign saying you're going to balance the budget, and then you come in here and pass $110 billion unpaid for.
Okay, if you are still watching this video, I really appreciate it. One thing I want to point out, and one thing that I think is a fair discussion, is how much outside influence is too much influence. I understand that it can be rather weird or odd that somebody can post on X and now all of a sudden it goes super viral, but that is the world we live in. I like to call it accountability, and I think the US government is just not used to it, and a lot of members of Congress are now catching up to the idea that any random person, whether you're Elon Musk or a random Karen on the internet who just so happens to get a viral video, it can change how people vote, which can be a good thing. So anyway, let me know what you guys think down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.